Good morning and welcome to Friday. And here we're looking at the Dow Jones on a, what is it, a 3-minute chart here. So, look, there's not a lot of change in thought on most things. And the Dow Jones here, we've been looking at this strong structure coming to the downside through here. And we were sort of looking at this as being a 5-wave structure to the downside. So once it's complete, then we should be looking for 3 waves to the upside. Let's just call this down for wave 1, 5 waves down for wave 1, and then we'll be looking for a wave 2 back. The normal sort of thing is to see this come back to the 61.8 retracement level of this move down through here. That's the norm, but look, anything can pretty much sort of happen in amongst all of that, but that would be the norm coming back up here to get the right sort of proportion and things. But there's news coming out of global corners left, right and centre, so any news is driving any market at the moment, so we can't be too sort of sure about that, but what we sort of can be a little bit confident of is that because we've had this 5 waves down, we'll get some sort of corrective move, and it may be shallow, and then we'll be coming like further down. So this is what we've got to be careful of. So there's figures coming out tonight in the US regarding the non-farm payroll, and because of the ADP figures that came out on Wednesday, they would expect that to be negative as well, but that may already be priced into the market to some degree as well. So that comes out at 10:30, and later in the evening at 12 you've got the ISM manufacturing figures coming out as well. So look, if they are positive a little bit, they might be the point that will drive the Dow back up here. And just looking at this little sort of picture on this sort of low here, I was kind of looking at this this situation here as a positive structure off the 12,200 here in terms of 5 waves moving up, and that would be simply the 1, the 2, the 3 to here, the little ABC for the 4th, and then the 5th wave up here, and there'll also be 5 waves in that too in terms of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 and the 5. So that would be an impulse wave to the upside, and if that's an impulse wave to the upside, then we'd get a 3-wave counter trend, yeah, which would be here, normally pulling back the 61.8% or thereabouts, but we could look into the sub-level group in here as support here, so somewhere in amongst here, and then another 5 waves up here. So this could be a ABC correction in terms of an A wave, then a B wave, which is always in 3 waves, so the B wave to here, and then another 5 waves up through here. Once that's complete, then that would be a larger ABC pattern to the upside. So it may just go to that. Normally with the ABC patterns is that the length of the A wave here is pretty much the length of the C wave here. So that's what we'd be sort of looking at there. But you all know that there is a bearish sort of scenario sort of happening out there. We could actually get a bigger sort of ABC correction as well, in that we actually get, this would, instead of having an A and a B and a C to here, coming back up to the 4th wave, 1 less degree, and then rolling over from there, we might get a bigger picture, and this is where I just don't know at this stage. We need to see more picture, is that we come up for 1, back for 2, up for 3, back for 4, and up for 5, and that will give us 5 waves up. And then we come back for an A and a B and a C, and then we have another 5 waves up to here. And that would make the larger ABC, which would make a retest of this sort of the 12.5 level here. So I just don't know, but what we do know is that because we've got the 5 waves down here, after a counter trend here, then we'll get another 5 down. So we're in a bit of a bearish mode. And what we're really, I think where the next trade is going to come out from is going to be, what we'll be looking for on the short side is this basically this wave 2 here. Now, be it here or be it back up here. I'm just unsure a little bit at this stage, and we need to give it time to sort itself out so we can pick up the golden thread and work with that. But I think the good news for the bears is that if this is a wave one down and we get a wave two coming back, well, then the third wave that comes down will be longer and stronger than this one here. So that's pretty exciting on the downside. And we're definitely seeing that in our banks, banks leading the way. So yeah, the other point I want to make out too is that it's from this 12,000 level here. If you go onto a daily chart, you can see this yourself in the history over yonder, where there's a lot of price action pattern there, which basically equals volume. So there is sort of volume support from the 12,000 all the way up to the 12.3 here. So it could be sort of quite choppy within amongst all here. However, once this 12,000 is taken out, there's not a lot of support there from that. So the next 500 points to the downside would be to 11.5, a medium level, would be quite swift, I'd imagine. So yeah, so certainly a bearish bias, and the bearish bias comes from the price being under 12.5, and then the bearish bias is added once the 12.3 becomes the resistance here. But we haven't seen there's going to be another battle here, so we'll see that up there. That will be met with higher supply. So there's still a battle in this field here to unfold. However, this is 12,000 here, then 12.1, 2 and 3 is all part of group 1, minor group 1, 1, 2 and 3. So once the price locks under the 12.2 here, normally within a group 1, then it's pretty much doomed at that point, and we can consider it part of the 12. And if it's part of the 12, well, then it'll be part of a bigger picture to the downside. So they're all degrees of bearishness, and all little pieces of the puzzle and part of the picture, and also degrees of how bearish that we should be. And this would be the same for the S&P 500 and so forth. I'll just put this is the S&P 500 on a 4-hour chart here. Don't worry about looking at all the little numbers there, but the main point here is the 1300 here, and the move that we've seen down here over the last 2 sessions. We're looking for a 5 waves down to make the wave 1, which is pretty much in place at the moment. So we'll look for a wave 2 here. Once again, we don't know the ABC pattern here, the 3-wave correction. We don't know at this stage how far that will pull back up. Will it go back to the 1330, or will it stay in this range sort of through here? But for a larger bearish picture, or for shorting this market as a position trader, then it's better to allow this market time to sort itself out and reveal to us what type of pattern it's going to show and where it is going to show. But also the 1300 here, we'd want to see, we don't have to see, but once this price is locked under the 1300 here, then it opens up the door to a larger picture on the bearish side, and that's what we're kind of expecting and looking for. I just can't give you an exact bounce rate here of how that's going to pan out here, sort of where it's going to pan out. We know it will be in 3 waves, an A and a B and a C. We just don't know how far the rally will come back yet. So we just got to sort of bear with us on that one. And this will be the same for the FTSE as well. Come back to our markets in a second. The FTSE here, you can see a nice strong 3rd wave to the downside, the 4th and the 5th here. It is a little bit sort of complicated here, and I'm wondering if there's actually another wave down here first and then up through here. But once again here, we're seeing a reasonable sort of impulse wave to the upside here. So this area here, the subgroup 2 area here, we'll see if that holds as support, because it would be a 5 ABC here and then another 5 up through here. But as you can see, it's really holding in the price here. So if the 72 becomes support here, it's just testing it at the moment by coming down into here. If it tests it and finds it as support and then builds onto here, then you can go long from that point there. But definitely wait for that to become support there. So it's pretty much pattern recognition and your skill set to acknowledge support. Our local market here, this is the XJO, and as you know, we've been looking at the 5 waves down through to this point here, and then we've been looking for 5 waves up to make the A wave. Then we were looking for a B wave. Wasn't expecting it that quick, but there it is. And then the B wave, and then the C wave back up as well. Now, in normal instances, would be looking at the C wave coming back up to the 47, to the 61.8, 50-60% retracement level, and these levels up here as well. But because this has come down so sharply, I'm a bit sort of hesitant to draw that line up there. So let's see how we go. It does appear that we've got 5 waves down through here, so the B wave may not even be finished yet. Okay, so for our B wave here, this can just be the A, then a B wave to here, then a C wave back down, and then up. So we just need to see more here. But in the short term here, short term being today, we would sort of consider this in line with the other US and other indices around the world to be sort of in tune here, and considering this to be 5 waves down here. So we'd be looking for support on the 4-6 here today, and to start moving up through here. So yeah, so we'll see how we go with them. So in terms of trading though, below 4,600 you do not want to be long, you want to be short. Above 4.6 here you want to be long. Above, this is the line in the sand here, so long above that. And then you've got group 1, which would be 10, 20 and 30 in here, and you know that the idea is to try and trade up to the 30. If the 30 becomes support, then you know that's a level there. It's got to sit on the 30 to become support. If that's the case, then it'll move further up. But we'll be looking for 5 waves up here today, looking at the SPY here. Just open this up here and sort of drill in down the bottom down here. Probably need to go to the next contract size here, but what we're looking for here is a 5 waves up. You want support. As long as you've got support on here, you can go long. Yeah, under this level you can't go long. Simple as that. And then you have to work group 1, 2 and 3, which is the 10, 20 and 30 to the upside here. Expect a correction across the 30. After the correction, then if it's got support, then you can go higher up. But just to get to the 30 would be sufficient. Okay, the drivers. Right, gold here. This is, I've just switched over to the August contracts out of the June contracts, and this picture here is the 1550 area here that we've seen it move down from. I have to say this picture here is appears to be in 3 waves, so it's corrective, so we should make new highs here. However, we need more evidence for that. So what we need to see from here is we need to see 5 waves up. Okay, currently from this move down to here, the 618 is through here, so that's sort of finding resistance there, but the wave structure will give the situation away. So we'll just have a closer look at that. And the wave structure here so far is that if we just get 3 waves up, like here where that 1 is, and we'll call that an A wave, and a B wave to here, and a C wave to there, pulling back to the 61.8%, and it drops from here, then that's going to go further to the downside. However, on the bullish side of things, if we get the wave 1 here, the wave 2 here, the wave 3 here, the wave 4 here, it could be over here, whatever the case may be, but if we get a wave 5 pushing up through here, which is this little guy here, then we've got 5 waves to the upside. Okay, if we get 5 waves to the upside, it's going to run into supply up at these levels here. The supply just means sellers, which is all this across here, all that stuff across there, right? So these are all, that quick move there are like stops being taken out. That's what sort of happens. They're all being collected now. So that's the idea of trading. So we would see this come up. If this was going to give us 5 waves up to here, then that 5 waves will give us a bullish picture. So we'll have 5 up for wave 1, 3 waves back for wave 2 in a corrective manner, and then another 5 up through here. So simply getting that little 5th wave here will give us a bigger bullish pattern coming up through here. So I think that's quite exciting news. However, trading local gold stocks would mean that you'd need the share market on your side as well, and also the Australian dollar to push to the downside as well. Crude oil, a bit like the Dow Jones, really, its move, so to speak, is that we're looking at 5 waves down through here. We'll be looking for 3 waves back, and then we'll be looking for that to roll over to the downside. Okay, so that's all good. However, using the levels that in terms of shorting, the price hasn't rejected the 100 yet. Do you know what I mean? So it's still sticking to it. You know, it hasn't broken through here, and for a bearish picture to work, we would be looking at, yes, this to come up through here, then we'd want to see it come back down through here to the 99 or the 98, then we'll want to see it go back to the 100 and have problems at that 100, and then basically roll over from that point, like this here. See how that sort of failed there and failed there? That's what we want to see this time over here. You know, you'll look at, the normal thing to do is what you've seen in the history is not what you're going to get the next time. You always get the opposite. So, but this retest here is what we're looking for over here, to see a bigger failure this time to the downside, because we've got our rally now. You know, before here, this had to rally, and it failed and failed, but eventually sort of got up there. But we've had our rally, wave 2 rally into here, and now we want to see that retest into here. So this is going to control the energy sector, so this is what you need to be aware of. Yeah, sure, today if the market's up, you're going to see our stocks up as well, but just be aware of where you are there. But in terms of trading in the real world, yes, we are above the level here, and you need to be on the long side there. Excuse me. Copper. Okay, so what we've seen in copper, we were looking at this top here. This is governing the material sector. So we were looking at this top forming here, and then we've seen it roll over from this point here. And, you know, it's a reasonably clear, like the Dow Jones and the other guys, that this is a pretty clear 5-wave structure to the downside now. So once again, we'll be looking for an A and a B wave and a C wave, perhaps up into this area here, supply area 61.8 and all that stuff. But basically, it's more important to follow the wave count on this in terms of an A and a B across here somewhere, and then a C wave up, and then roll over from there. So yes, we will see positive structures within this for a day or so, or maybe even 3, don't know, but eventually sort of rolling over to the downside there. So once again, the main level in here is the 400 here. So if we get below this, then this is the real confirmation in my mind that we'll be going further to the downside. So the 400 as resistance really creates the bigger picture on the downside there. So yes, we do have a bearish count, but in the bigger picture, we're not under the 400 here, the same as the crude market at 100 there as well. So as far as the trading levels go, can't confirm a bigger picture to the downside just yet, because I don't have the evidence, even though the wave count is suggesting that. So it's a bit sort of twofold there, and that's analysis. But in terms of trading, it all boils down to what your trading time frame is, and essentially it's just trading from one number to the next number, from support to resistance or resistance to support, and the money management within the trade. That's all trading is. So analysis and trading are 2 different things. It just takes a little while to get your sort of noggin around that. The futures the Forex market, I'll just go to the US dollar index first, because the US dollar index, we were looking for a low to come in yesterday into this point here. Still looking for that low there, and it's a bit of a guessing game. I've got these. This can be a low in here, or the low could be over here, or we can get this further to the downside here. The point being is that that this is in a downtrend, and yes, we've got 5 waves to this point here, and the same is in the euro as well. You'll see that at the 145, we've got 5 waves up to the 145 in the euro. So yes, it can turn. The euro needs to drop under 144 and find that as resistance, and this market here needs to get above the 75 here as support, and we're just looking at ways that it can do this. So I've just got here two more bearish sort of scenarios here. Yeah, and I know that in the bigger picture under the 74 here, then it opens up a bigger bearish picture as well. This little purple line here is the 618 retracement level, so it's spot on that. So we'll see sort of how we go with this over the next few sessions. But the Australian dollar here, which is a lot of people trade this. It's also important to our markets as well. So as you know, we were looking for an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, very much the same as our ASX 200. The same things happening. This looks a bit more stronger and stable in its corrective move of an A and a B and a C, and we're looking at that now. So I know it's all a bit sort of messy, but this A, B, C here for the B wave. So if we look at this on a 2-minute chart here, I just wanted to point this out a little bit here. I just better go back and point something else out here. This strong move that we've got down here, we've got to look at this as an A wave to here and a B wave to here and a C wave right to this point here, and then we can roll over and go south from here. Okay, so that's important, and in that here, because this is an A wave, it's got 3 waves in it, and the B wave coming back down here, and then this C wave moving up here is what we're looking at through here. So I'm just going to go into this particular structure here to point out a few things here. So the first thing is that it does have a nice 5 waves up in terms of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the little 5 wave structure in here. And then we have the A wave coming down, then the B wave in 3 waves, and we're into the C wave now. If this market moved down to the 618% here of this move up through to here, the A, the B, and the C moving way down to here, which it can do, then below this then we've got a bear market below this point here. So in one way, one regard, as long as it stays above that point there, then we've got we'll be in that C wave and that bullish thing to the upside through there. Okay, so in terms of trading this here, this would be an A and a B and a C wave. So any support from here on in back above the 72 number here, then you can look to go long. Now this may come down to the 65 again through here, which has got good support through here, as you can see here. So if it does come down through here and find support here, then you'd still need to get back up above the 65 here to get in, because once the price is below group 2 here, then you've got resistance, and the 72 in here would be the pivot. So the important thing is the good move here is that if this is an A and a B and a C wave to here, and then it finds back on support here, that's a nice trade to go to the long side at that point there. So you just really got to wait for that setup there. Okay, that's it. So let's just see how the US pans out in its pattern for its so-called rally here. So 5 waves down, we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave back up to here, and then to roll back over from that point there. However, we've got to be careful with the A, B, and C here, because it may be the 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5. Okay, so we need to give it time here. Any move under this current low here, then it's very, very weak, and it's just extending to the downside. So we know that it's bearish. We just got to acknowledge the rally here. So we're looking for 5 waves up for the A wave, then A, B, and C for the B wave, and up for the C wave here. So we just need to work out if this is going to be an A, B, and a C here and finish and roll over from that point, or we're going to get a stronger 5 waves up in terms of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. Yep, so this is what we don't know. So we just got to be careful, and it's not a place to trade large, because we need to work out where this wave 2 is here. Once we know where this wave 2 is, be it here or be it in some bigger structure of 5, 3, and 5 to this point. Once we've got this here, then we'll be looking for a wave 3 to the downside, and we'll be looking to short that. We'll be onto that and looking to trade it in a proper trade to the downside. So that's the setup that we're looking for. So we just need to be patient until that unfolds there. But just remember, our banks are leading to the downside, and they're the ones to be looking at. Alrighty, well, enjoy the weekend, and good luck today.